Hey guys, how's it going? This is my, I guess, thoughts on probably the most prestigious segment of my watch collection, and that's my collection of the Holy Trinity pieces. Of course, the Holy Trinity would consist of Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, and Vacheron Constantin. Beautiful watches, right? They're just on another level from Rolex, right? Using Rolex as your benchmark, as your standard. Rolexes are great watches, beautiful, but these brands they finish their watches to a higher standard compared to Rolexes, right? When you look at the attention to detail, from the bracelets to the dial to everything, right? They just spend a little bit more time, a little bit more effort to create their product. What do I think of horology? They are beautiful, right? But it comes at a cost. It definitely higher maintenance, right? High maintenance. You're looking at least $1,000 for a service. Right? You can't bring these to an independent watchmakers because these companies will not outsource their parts and their services. So you're left with sending these watches back to the companies to have them service for you. I believe the Patek, like for just a basic service, it's not too bad. I read it was about 850 Swiss francs. So that's okay. But I think once they start replacing dials and hands and stuff like that, then you're definitely into the thousands. So is it worth it? Well, it depends who you're asking, right? I think it's worth it. I think it's worthwhile owning at least. It's worthwhile owning one. I think three would probably is excessive, but that's luxury, right? Luxury is all about excess, and it's great, beautiful watches. Archie Luxury always talks about haute horology, and right now he's not into it, but I understand why. Compared to a Rolex, the gold Rolex that he has, right? Servicing is nothing compared to what these watches will cost. They're more delicate, a little more fragile. They're definitely not everyday pieces. Although I'd say this is probably the most robust of these three. But great watches, right? This is why the Swiss watches are so great. That's why a lot of people wonder why. I'm a bit of a historian. I enjoy modern history from the times of colonialism to present day, right? And you kind of wonder why the Europeans were so dominant, and it's because they're able to sell its people a dream. They're able to sell you a dream, and then when you have that kind of incentive, you really get the most out of people. You look at these things, right? It took you just see so much emotion, you see so much passion, you see so much attention to detail, and it's also functional. It works, right? There's a purpose, but there's also flair, right? There's also expression, And this is something which, modern Asian products, that's what they lack. That's what they're missing, right? They just lack that level of authenticity. And they always just try to copy. They try to replicate, right? You look at the Japanese watch industry, you look at the Japanese car industry, even Japanese government, right? It was all copies of European products and policies, and I just came back from Asia, and modern Asia is not. It's lost a bit of its identity, I find. But sometimes. But the problem is because the West is so dominant. They're so influential that a lot of culture and diversity has been lost. But I don't know why I'm talking about this. When I have these great pieces, I'm of Asian descent, and I wish Asians could create something as beautiful as these pieces, but it's just not in our in our social structure. It's not in the way we are brought up. Modern Asia is only 150, 200 years old, less than 200 years old, and we've had to go through a lot of very turbulent times all over Asia, right? But things are looking up, I think. We just have to inject our own DNA into our products, and take a little bit more pride in what we produce for the world, and hopefully we can come up with things that we can call our own, just like Europeans have, right? Europeans, they're able to sell you a great dream, Swiss watches, French designer products, right? French handbags, Italian shoes, right? German automobiles, Italian automobiles. I don't know what the British came up with. The British came up with colonialism. The British came up with great products too, right? Let's not kid ourselves, right? They started the Industrial Revolution, right? Capitalism, right? Policies, and you have to respect that, right? Yeah. So, you have to give props to them, right? Europeans sell you a dream, and yeah, it's great. Anyway, it's just my thoughts on hot horology. Okay, thank you. Bye.